He said, I fall in the category of intuitive actor. I just intuit and do it.
He doesn't feud, he edits. Morgan Freeman draws a quiet line. Cross it once, and you don't get a second shot.
What I'm doing, I enjoy it all. I want to do it all. That was the thing, you know.
For 5 decades, he's been the still point in the chaos. Presidents, prisoners, detectives, even God. Never shouting, always sharpening the scene. Driving Miss Daisy, The Shawshank Redemption, Seven. Precision over volume, poise over noise. On screen, he's President Tom Beck, steadying a nation as the sky falls. Off-screen, the metronome never wavers. You match his rhythm, or you fall out of frame.
Black History Month, you find
ridiculous. You're going to relegate my history to a month?
And here's the part people miss. Grace isn't the same thing as tolerance. In Hollywood, the loudest verdict is sometimes silence, the call that never comes back, the reunion that never happens, the sequel that lives and dies in a headline. Today, 5 names he reportedly kept at arm's length, not with fireworks, but with absence. Stay to the end for the quietest cut of all, the partnership that was teed up for a sequel and never came back. Number 1. Matt Damon. On paper, it was seamless. Clint Eastwood directing, Morgan Freeman embodying Nelson Mandela's quiet resolve, Matt Damon captaining the Springboks, prestige stitched into a single frame. But on the UK promo circuit, Freeman slipped a razor into the smile. We don't get on all that good. He's got a big head. He thinks he's good looking. We didn't get on all that well at all, as a matter of fact. He laughed. The line lingered, half jest, half judgment, the kind of velvet-gloved sting he delivers without raising his voice. Why the edge? According to people familiar with Eastwood's sets, the rhythm is famously tight. Hit the mark, move on. No endless takes, no fuss. Freeman has praised that economy for years, calling Eastwood really quick and hands-off, a cadence that suits Freeman's own stage-honed precision and preference for clean, economical choices. By contrast, Damon, fresh off franchises and awards buzz, can read as high-energy and intensely engaged in rooms and collaborations, a tempo that, in certain spaces, scans as confidence turned up too loud. That's interpretation, not indictment, but it maps to how some observers describe the Invictus pairing. Crew recollections over the years have framed the dynamic as polite but out of sync. No blow-ups, just 2 metronomes ticking at different speeds. And then came the silence. No reunion film on record, no second pass to fix the chemistry, no high-profile two-hander to retest the waters. Read the quote as banter if you like, read the absence as the answer. Freeman doesn't feud, he edits. Here, the edit sounds like a joke. The cut is everything that never followed. Number 2. Spike Lee. They've never traded insults on a stage. They didn't need to. The friction lives in what each man believes movies are for. Freeman has said it plainly. On 60 Minutes, he called Black History Month ridiculous, later summarized as an insult, and framed his stance this way. Black history is American history. How do we get rid of racism? Stop talking about it. Calm voice, hard line, de-emphasize labels, refuse to relegate history to a box on the calendar. These remarks are on record and have been recirculated in later write-ups and clips. Spike Lee, by contrast, insists on the conversation. In Campus Talks circa 2001, he popularized Magical Negro to critique roles that grant black characters mystical wisdom mainly to save white leads. Less a life than a device. Across interviews and speeches, he's pushed studios on representation, challenged post-racial gloss, and, when necessary, sparred publicly with other auteurs over erasure. Different cadence, different compass. A values map drawn in permanent ink. Now imagine those worldviews sharing a room. Freeman's posture, aim for roles that read universal, transcend labels, can read to Lee as elegance that erases. Lee's posture, name the system out loud on camera, can read to Freeman as making the work about the label. Neither man is shy. Lee tangles in public, Freeman keeps his edits private. The result is visible if unsaid. No director-actor pairing, no joint project on record, no panel where they trade praise, just parallel lanes through the same town. Number 3. Jim Carrey. On screen, it crackled Freeman's stillness as God against Carrey's hurricane as Bruce. Off-screen, the first handshake told the real story. According to a 2003 Q&A transcript, Carrey bounded over, gushing, "So glad you're doing this, movie." And Freeman, velvet steel, smiled back, "Nice to meet you too. Now never touch me again." Carrey laughed, retelling it, and added that Freeman is like a laser that goes right to your soul. It reads as a joke until you hear the boundary inside it. That boundary tracks with how their processes collide. Carrey thrives on riffing and left-turn improvisations. Rooms tilt toward his chaos. Freeman is stage-trained economy. Hit the truth, cut the excess, protect the tempo. In the same Q&A, Carrey even joked that Freeman raked director Tom Shadyac over the coals. Not as a swipe, but as a tribute to presence. A set resets its energy before Freeman drops a line with quiet finality. Crew recollections tend to support that picture. The energy rises, then settles, and then Freeman lands it. It's not shade, it's calibration. Freeman's verdict, as usual, arrived in silence. After Bruce Almighty, there was no co-lead reunion. The series pivoted to Evan Almighty with Steve Carell, while Freeman returned as God and Carrey did not. No feud tour, no scorched earth quote, just a door that never reopened. Classic Freeman. If you want fireworks, there aren't any. What you get is the pattern this list keeps tracing. He doesn't feud, he edits. With Carrey, the edit sounded like a laugh line at first meeting. The cut is everything that never followed. Number 4. Kevin Spacey. They met inside a modern classic. Seven forged the triangle. Pitt's volatility, Freeman's weary precision, Spacey's faceless chill. For suspense, Spacey stayed out of the marketing and opening credits, an oft-reported choice to preserve the reveal. Two professionals, one immaculate result. And then, the room changed. In late 2017, London's Old Vic disclosed 20 allegations of inappropriate behavior tied to Spacey's tenure there. The theatre apologized and described a cult of personality that discouraged complaints of the time. Within weeks, Ridley Scott reshot All the Money in the World to replace Spacey with Christopher Plummer. Netflix fired Spacey from House of Cards and rebuilt its final season without him. Headlines were loud. Hollywood moved fast. Freeman's response? Not a soundbite, an edit. No statement slagging a former co-star, no talk show takedown, just no re-team on record after 95. No reunion panel, no second project. Nothing beyond the film they made at their peak. If there were phone calls, they didn't become credits. If there were invitations, they didn't become scenes. We can't read a man's mind. We can read a pattern. Conflict here isn't a screaming match, it's the cold mechanics of distance. Spacey has defended himself in interviews and courts and has attempted a public return. Coverage continues to track his efforts and legal outcomes. Freeman hasn't joined that chorus, nor the pylon. In his world, the verdict is quieter. The door doesn't slam, it simply never opens again. Number 5. Michael Douglas. Four legends walk into the same frame. Michael Douglas, Morgan Freeman, Robert De Niro, Kevin Kline. An ensemble built to purr. An A-list hangout with old-school charm that delivered exactly what it promised. But the way they work isn't the same. Douglas has spoken over the years about trusting instinct more as he ages. Freeman, by contrast, is famously economical. Hit the mark, tell the truth, move on. Put those metronomes in one room, and you don't get a blow-up. You get a temperature shift only the crew can feel. Reportedly, Las Vegas ran on 2 tempos. Douglas's hands-on steering in promo and blocking, Freeman's stillness, tightening the air before a line. No fireworks, just a room that quietly resets itself. Here's the part fans noticed. After the sleeper success, a sequel was publicly reported as moving forward. Writers hired, director expected back, leads expected to return. And then, nothing. Development headlines in 2014, no movie since. In Freeman's universe, that kind of silence often is the verdict. No messy quotes, no feud narrative, just a partnership that doesn't circle back. So were they enemies? Not on record. Professionals? Absolutely. But measured answers in junkets, different philosophies on how to carry a scene, and a sequel that never materialized. Line up those tiles, and you get Freeman's preferred kind of conflict. The quiet, professional no that lives between one film and the lack of a second. He doesn't slam doors, he just stops walking through them. After 5 decades of presidents, prisoners, detectives, and even God, Morgan Freeman's loudest answer is still silence. The sequel that never lands, the reunion that never happens, the co-star who never comes back. Maybe that feels cold. It isn't. It's editing. He trims the noise and keeps the work. Which chapter surprised you most? And who do you think won't make the call sheet ever again? Drop your pick below. If there's a credible update, we'll pin it. Watch the pattern. It doesn't shout, it erases.